Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Witze. Today with Mermadin versus Leuschi. I was afraid they had postponed this, but it looks both are online right now. So what is this about? It's about the German Carcassonne Online Championship 2025. Main goal is to qualify someone, or rather, two or three people to the Carcassonne Champions League. So the winner of the playoffs later this month or in early November will definitely reach the group phase of the Champions League. And there may be up to two folks gunning for the qualifiers in November. So it's Group B, and there are three folks who've already played against each other, and they beat the others in a cyclic way. So winning one game, one match to one, and losing one two. And then Larchen already played versus Mermadin and is out of contention. Today's game of Mermadin versus Leuschi comes basically down to the winner definitely will reach the semis, and if Leuschi loses, he is more or less out of it because Medusa Hope owns the tiebreaker versus Leuschi. And he'd need Leuschi, that is, he'd need Mermadin to beat Medusa 2-0 more or less if he loses today. So a win for Leuschi or Mermadin would be very nice for them. Let's check. I guess they have started. Oh, they haven't. Where's Leuschi? Playing turn-based games. That really doesn't tell me anything. So let's hop back to the standings. So in the cross table, we'll see that Leuschi has lost 1-2 versus Medusa. So in the hypothetical case that he would lose 1-2 versus Mermadin today, so he would have 4 to 5 game wins. He would need Medusa to lose 0-0 versus Mermadin to then switch places. Let's check. Hi, Otto. Where is my dashboard? It's here. Let me check if I can feature your chat message. Oh, no, it looks like it doesn't work. Oh, we'll see. Although, here it is. Have I had the chance to meet all German players in person who are playing in this tournament? Actually, I'm not sure because I only know, let's say, these five definitely. Larchen, I theoretically should have met at some German championship, but I'm not really familiar with him. And Zockerle, I'm really not sure. I have to think a bit. What's his real name? I'm not sure. But why is he online? Why don't they start? So I thought my delay would have been okay, but it looks like they still need a few minutes. Let me quickly check what's up with Mermadin. Okay, looks like he's online, and well, at least he has invited Leuschi, he tells me. So let's refresh again. Still nothing. Let me check. Where is my chat window? While we're at it, any ideas on being present at Worlds as a spectator? Maybe, Otto, maybe. Back in May at the German Championships, the guys from the SPZ, SPZ in German, so the Spielezentrum Herne, asked whether I'd be available to, let's say, help them streaming. So I said, yeah, why not? Because it's quite a trip for me, but I like them. They do an okay job. I think it lacks here or there, but at least they are enthusiastic and organize these tournaments since 2004, if I recall correctly, maybe 2003. Back then, I participated every year there, and I really like them. So why not? They said they'd call me sometime in the summer to talk details. That was okay with me, of course, but I haven't heard back from them since then. So given it's only 2.5 weeks to go until the World Championship, I'm not sure I'll get a call. And if not, just to spectate, just to watch, I won't travel there. That's, let's say, roughly 6 or 7 hours. I'm in the southern west of Germany, near Freiburg, and Herne is in the northwestern part. So that's quite a trip. Yeah, sure, I could visit some family and friends over there, but just for the weekend, that really doesn't work for me, and I would need at least a week lead time to get there and make this trip worth my while. So still no Leuschi there. Well, then let's take a quick look while Otto is there. Maybe he's still there. Oh, looks like someone is gunning for arena points. Whoa, Otto. Would have thought it would be easier to find his last game versus Larpaattori. Here we go. I think it was around move 130. Oh, let me. No, I'll use another window to check whether Leuschi and Mermadin will start. Still nothing. Both online, but no game started. Okay, so this was Larpaattori's mistake, I think. So he definitely should have meepled this ruin over here. But he didn't. And let's just let Otto execute his move. He of course takes these juicy 8 points. And now it's 72, 89. And it's plus 17 for Otto. It more or less comes down to a few things here. There is still a crossroad left for Otto, who's playing the blue meeples here, at least in my view. If he gets the crossroad, he will win the game. If he would have gotten the monastery, he would have at least be able to prevent Larpaattori from connecting these two fields here. So this bottom field worth 9 points is right now Larpaattori's, and the top field worth 15 points. Wrong. This here is Otto's. So the difference between these two fields is 6 points. This then would result in this monastery here adding 8 points for the monastery to Larpaattori's score and reducing the difference by another 6 points due to the difference of field scoring. So 14 points out of these 17-point difference. And then later on, Larpaattori just needs to score 3 more points somewhere, and here is a 2-point road where you could use any of these 3 pieces to score these points, then tie the game, and because Otto was the starting player, win it. So that's the preamble. Let's quickly check if Leuschi is online or starting the game, and they still aren't. So let's continue with Nallerheim, aka Otto. Yeah, and Otto already has analyzed the game like he should, because this one here, this move took him. What would you think? It's a best of 5. It's the last game. It's a close score. Otto had a minute 20 or so on his clock, and it's his last meeple. So arguably, his last move with really an impact on this game. And how many seconds do you think he took to execute this one? 30, 40, maybe he ran all the way to 5 seconds left on the clock? No, 11 seconds. Exactly 11 seconds. So I guess, Otto, did you think about this move in this instance, or did you just saw Larpaattori, let's say, blundering the ruin away by not meepling it and leaving it empty for you to take, and you just jumped on it, fearing, I don't know, he would snatch it from your hands, which he, of course, couldn't. I'm not sure. So this one here, it looks even nice, because what it does is it prevents this field attack here, which would, of course, be a nice one for. Why is this? Excuse me. So now we're at full screen and it should work better. So not leaving this field empty, of course, would kill this option, but it's not really that big of a problem. Okay, you could connect over here with the straight and the crossroad, or Larpaattori, that is, but there's also this option over here, where Larpaattori could only use the crossroad to connect. But the problem is, if Larpaattori were to add the horse over here, it's the last horse. We have 2 horses already on the board, and there's a shield. This one doesn't have a shield, so the last horse comes with the shield. So if Larpaattori were to add the horse over here, he would add 2 points to Otto. So the difference would grow to 19 points. And then equalization of this field would add 15 points to Larpaattori. So 4-point difference. And then a 2-point road would reduce the difference to 2 points, which then would be a win for Otto, of course. Let me quickly check. So Otto says, I wish I would be able to highlight his message. Well, so he says it was an intuitive move for sure. Yeah, was fixated on Druserian points. Yeah, he's right. Without the ruin, he had to definitely draw the monastery to prevent this connection, and the 8 points Larpaattori would score with it. And he says, arguably a beginner mistake for not taking your time on the final tiles. Yeah, beginner mistake, but it happens even to the best of us. So back to this year. Where was I? The problem is Larpaattori would need to add points to Otto, and then Otto would win. So he wouldn't do that. He would go over here and attack over here. But the problem is, because Otto has placed the extender at the bottom of the ruin instead of at the top, there is no way for him to use the horse on this ruin. It doesn't work here, there, nor there. So he can't add these crucial 2 points to his score. The ruin up top is dead, everything else as well. And in the case Larpaattori gets the monastery or gets the horse and then the crossroad, Larpaattori wins this game by a tie. If Otto had placed the extender on top, he would have been able to add the cow over here or even at the bottom, it doesn't really matter, for 2 points. So the effect is he decreased his winning chances by playing too fast and not taking the time to analyze the situation. And I'm pretty sure he knew that there was the monastery out there. He knew that there was the horse out there. He knew that there was the crossroad out there. And maybe he would have needed to count the straight, but given it wasn't a fixed time limit, but an increment per move, I guess he even knew that there also was a straight out there, and he knew the score quite likely. So he had all the ingredients to figure this situation out, even in only 60 or 70 seconds. He's that good. Yeah, he is that good. He could have done it. And what hurts the most is he would have won if he had taken a few more seconds to assess this situation correctly. So, I'm sorry, Otto, but it was definitely good content. Not just this situation, but the whole match, and I think overall, um, the luckier player won because Larpaattori, not just in game 5, but I think it was game 4 as well, um, drew what he had to draw to win. And Otto had, not just in this game, with these two here, I think the road was pretty early. The monasteries were in the mid game, and in both cases, there were two pieces out there, and he didn't get one out of the four. And there were a similar situation in game 4, also needing a crossroad and things like that. And it's annoying, but even if it's annoying, in the end, there was a chance to win this game. There was a chance to find a better move, but he didn't. That's Carcassonne as well. So long rambling, and Leuschi still isn't there. Let me ask Merma if he knows anything about it. And then let me figure out why the chat isn't working. Otto says, silver lining in all of this is that my loss enables 2 Finnish players to get to the CCL qualifiers, +1 to the main stage. Why exactly? Did you qualify to the group stage or for the qualifiers another way? Top 8 ELO or something? Uh, what the fuck? Excuse my French, but Leuschi and Mermadin have already played their first game. And why is this not listed over here? Oh, well. And we missed a close game. Let me ask him again. I guess they are playing their second game now. Maybe I need something else. Okay. So They've played a turn-based game. And a turn-based game, of course, isn't shown as a live game because it's a turn-based game. Oh, man. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, thanks, Otto. Too late. I would have never guessed that they'd not be able to start this game as it should be started. But, well, here we go. So, Mermadin with yellow. What did I say? Who won the first game? Let me quickly check if the dual finder then works. Or if this, yeah, this at least works. So Leuschi won the first one. Let's use this. So it's up to Mermadin to win this one. So we at least get to witness 2 games. What are we having? 2 fields in Leuschi's possession for now. Both worth 6 points. Nice monastery for Mermadin with an additional monastery spot. Although 1 road monastery is already gone. What's this? Looks like, yeah, a graphical issue. Okay, so 1 road monastery already gone. This means it could be blockable, but even if Leuschi were to block this, it would only be a 50-50 block. Here we go. Nice attack by Mermadin on this field here. Of course, hoping to draw one of the 3 remaining monasteries, regular monasteries, that is. This here is quite likely becoming a ruin. Sure, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to close this one. But I don't see Leuschi being successful without Mermadin attacking this one somewhere, or maybe even trying to harass both road and ruin, which Leuschi prevents by closing the road and adding a city cap to his field for now, but considering the field will be shared later and this over here is quite likely a ruin, I still would have orientated the city cap to the right just to be a bit safer. A move like this, these 2 places really susceptible to blocks, would hurt him quite a lot, and that's why he has to use the car over here to prevent this from happening, because all extenders are gone and there's only 1 vertical splitter remaining, so this would have been a big problem for him. Yeah, Otto is asking about the Champions League spots for Germany, and he's more or less right. I think we can't lose our one direct ticket to the group stage, no matter the outcome of the ETCOC. And we are very likely to only have one spot in the qualifier. No, 2 spots. We have 2 spots. We definitely have. I think we have 2 spots. Let me check. I think we have 2 spots, and if we were to really push the envelope and let's check. We are in the standings on place 8, and we would have to leapfrog Chile, France, Latvia, and UK. Therefore, we would need to likely win or at least reach the semis and hope for France to not advance that far. Then we might even get 2 direct tickets to the group stage, but else we will get 2 qualifier tickets, because I wouldn't expect 5 teams to leapfrog us, but we can analyze that situation later on. So let's get back to this game. Merma scores these 4 points here. Had saved his city, still 2 daggers available. And because Mermadin's ruin attack or city attack, because this position here is still live, there are still 4 Rotoritos and 2 daggers available. Leuschi does the right thing, re-attacks the city here. Takes 3 points, trying to harass Mermadin's small city on the left, but he gets to save this one. Must have been the other way around. So Mermadin closed his city, opened a new one, and then Leuschi took the 3 points. Given that this feature is already worth 12 points, it's of course in Mermadin's interest to attack it again, or at least to prevent Leuschi from connecting. There's only 1 horse left, all other big city tiles are gone, so a move like this could even be considered, although not with a city cap. And I guess with 2 meeples in hand, Mermadin, well, there he goes, with the cap. Should think long and hard whether to attack or to block. He could also block like this, because there's only 1 regular. Only 1 regular Dorito remaining. So at plus 21, he didn't even consider doing something against this, because once Leuschi connects, there's an easy way to kill this ruin and then just run away with the score. Right now it's 35, because he just scored the 4 points at the top and was able to close his city on the left side for 5 points for the city, plus 5 points for the road, so 10 total. And now At 35, Leuschi definitely has to take over the main field again, and the prime option would have been the top right. But there is a yellow farmer over there, and that more or less should be, I don't know, the third or fourth nail in Leuschi's coffin for this game. So easy to connect here. Even if Leuschi were able to block like this, there'd still be a 50-50 connection option for Mermadin. And even if he wouldn't be able or weren't able to connect, he still has this city on his field. There is room up top, and if Leuschi closes his city, this farmer would at least participate. So I'm not even sure it's worth doing moves like this, but there are no daggers, so yeah, he could of course kill this city quite easily. Yep, Mermadin adds another city cap to the secondary field. Yep, Leuschi takes the points away, doesn't try to save his city, and absolutely correct, because he needs to score. Because this over here was the last dagger. This city is now a ruin, and the best Leuschi could hope for is to connect here with the shielded Dorito to maximize the score he could gain from this one. What else? 29 points. The field is at, let's consider these two as well, 15, 18 points. And even that wouldn't be enough, because even if Leuschi were able to take over the field somehow, so liberating the monastery, uniting here, and then adding, I don't know where, 2 meeples, maybe here, this would only net him 18, 19 points, and with a difference of 16, Mermadin just would score a few more somewhere with his 2 meeple in hand. So there's no way Leuschi comes back in this game. Double curve draw. Yeah, but yeah, so like this. But even that wouldn't help him, because then there's still this one scoring 6 points. Mermadin chops away at the Leuschi tree, another 5 points. So at least we get to witness a third game. And I won't interfere regarding time. Actually, I am the organizer of this GCOC, but it actually doesn't really matter. Looks like they both play quite quickly, and it's not like someone took 5 minutes to execute a move or so there's really no need to enforce the rules here. Yeah, Leuschi said, das wird deutlich. Yeah, indeed. Let me translate for those who don't speak German. Lopsided? Yeah, lopsided works. So then let's check what they are writing about. Yeah. So they'll play a decider. And here we go. Nice start for Leuschi, at least drawing a piece with the shield, even though it's not an extender. Yeah, they exchange pleasantries. If your time really isn't running, that's really no biggie. Yeah. Nice decision by Mermadin. Could have, of course, equalized the city, but he goes the more aggressive route, which might not be the best idea, but actually I like a bit of volatility when I'm watching, so I applaud moves like this. And this here is just a tough draw, but at least he would get a few points if Leuschi might be able to close this city. And is compensated by drawing the first monastery. Finds a nice spot for it. Yeah, let's see if Leuschi starts a new city somewhere on the top left over here. Or if he just continues with the city. He does, even though this will be united sometime. Mermadin with an indirect attack against Leuschi's city. He, of course, could live with blocking this, for example, like so. Right now, this is a mini battle with 3 points for both of them. And more or less everything but a horse placed to the city is better for Leuschi than for Mermadin, so keeping this tie here would be in yellow's interest. Yeah, Leuschi with a bad draw with this rotary tomb. There is no way to harass any of Mermadin's cities. And continuing over here now isn't really that great of an option. Yeah, sure, one dagger is gone, but there are still two out there, so no. I don't like that move. I mean, maybe he's gunning for something like this to kill this square, and with this 2 yellow versus his 1 meeple. And I'm not sure that's such a great idea. Sure, there wasn't really a great place to use this Dorito, but I still don't think this was the best idea. Tough spot for Leuschi. He has to protect. There is no way else. And he leaves the cap empty, figuring with this cap and this road over here, Mermadin already has enough spots to use city caps. Given there are still a lot of them out there, the more aggressive approach for Mermadin by taking this cap on the left might have been the better option. Yep. Otto is more or less confirming what I said earlier about this configuration here. So yellow snatches another city, but endangers this road. Even though there were still 2 starting tiles out there, then blue blocked the road, of course. And what did yellow get? The starting tile. Rightfully so. Adding a bit insult to injury here. So yellow blocks the city, or shared city, shared ruin, whatever, because this spot is blue's monastery spot over there. Leuschi takes 3 points, tries to kill this square, but Mermadin draws a curve just in time to limit this spot to the 2 remaining road Doritos. Oh, I see the 3. Let's check. Yeah, that's correct. And blue needs road Doritos at the top. There are still 2 daggers out there. And let's check if I remember correctly. Yeah, critical tiles. So the horse over here is definitely critical. Dagger and Dorito as well. So now we can remove the horse because blue just got one. Mermadin tries to kill this square, but then opts to just take 3 points instead of completing the block over here. Yeah, the classic let me donate a road end to you. Did you mean the crossroad over here, Otto? Yeah. So I guess what Otto was talking about was a move like this. So then, sure, you could use, let me illustrate this the correct way, could use a straight to save your road. Else, the way Leuschi played it, the straight could have been used by him to kill this. So, yeah, sure, his odds to kill it did increase by playing the crossroad this way. But Mermadin's odds to close this road did increase as well by supplying this road end. And looky here, there's a curve. Now Mermadin just needs to get one of the two remaining, as I mentioned before. Road Doritos. So still no block over here because Mermadin got a horse, connected these two. Leuschi saves this one. I'm not really happy with this orientation here because this way allows Mermadin to take this and build a platform to harass city and monastery. He opted to close his city instead. And Leuschi drew the fourth Road Dorito just in time. Now he still has one dagger remaining to close his monastery and take 3 road points. And if he gets that, and Mermadin wouldn't hit the Dorito, I guess it would have been more or less Leuschi's game due to the meeple advantage in the late game. But here we go. Mermadin hits the last Dorito. Adds a farmer just in case someone closes these two cities. Leuschi able to close the 8-point city on the top left. Has +5 right now. And hasn't even done anything about Mermadin's 12-point field. An attack over here sure would be nice. And even with this one, with 3 meeples in hand, why not secure a 6-point field? Sure, it's 23 tiles to go, and you'd really love to take curve like this. But if you don't have a curve, oh, that's arguably even better, because this way he connects, or would connect these two fields. But the problem is, or the downside of this move is, curve, crossroad, and even the dagger would allow Mermadin what he has done, taking this 9-point field, threatening a field unification if it's necessary. So right now it might be better for Leuschi to connect these two fields, which would deduct these 9 points from Mermadin's score, and then kill the connection square. Or if this road gets connected, attack with a second meeple on the top left. He just dumps the monastery, which only takes away the rose, because no, not just the rose, the dagger as well. but I'm not sure that's the best idea here. Yeah, here comes the connection. Takes the 7-point road as well, so a 16-point move as of now. Mermadin adds city caps and quite likely needs to score both cities to still have a chance here. Now even connecting his 2-farmer field to a small field of Leuschi doesn't do anything for him, because it would only add 3 points to Leuschi's road. Yeah. Mermadin scoring 3 for this farmer, 4 for the city, so 7, closing the gap. Leuschi might consider farming. There's still a Dorito and a vanilla out there, and 1 monastery each, plus a curve, so enough pieces to connect over here, and there might even be this route still available. So straits could be used over here, and then we could use the dagger to connect as well. The other option, of course, is just taking 4 points and using the next piece to attack the field, which Mermadin prevents by connecting. Now there is an attacking option at the top, but Leuschi isn't able to use it, scores 4 points. Yeah, but he's at plus 14, so he doesn't even need to attack anything, actually. The onus is on Mermadin to try to find ways to win this, and there are at least 2 pieces. And that's the dagger and the rose. Both would score 7 points for him. Well, 6 points in this case, because it would add 1 point to Leuschi's road. Yep, exactly what Otto says. Fieldless win. So Leuschi gets the rose. That's tough for Mermadin. He could even go just over here, adding these 3 points. He can even, I'm not sure why he does this, because there is still the dagger out there, and this here would add 9 points to Mermadin versus 6 points over here. I'm not sure why he didn't put a meeple on there, just to prevent this option. But now it's dead. Now it doesn't matter. Here we go. I guess we're having 7 tiles remaining. It's 1 point plus a meeple. And 4 meeples in hand with 4 moves for you. It's okay. but he doesn't need to use it this way. Yeah. He just plays it safe, dumps the cap over there. At plus 15, he more or less can do what he wants. There's one option for Mermadin to still attack this ruin, but considering it's only worth 8 points, so with 2 pieces added, I don't know, maybe 11, 12. Although both shielded extenders are gone. So it looks like 11, but that's just not enough. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Should have attacked this, of course, because there are no caps left. In the end, is there a situation where it might matter? I don't think there is. Point difference is a tiebreaker, but given the results so far, I think the tiebreaker won't be used in any case for these two. But we'll assess the tournament situation in a few seconds once these two are done. So, it didn't even. Oh yeah, it was. So, end result: Leuschi wins versus Mermadin, secures a semifinal spot, trying to reach the Champions League a second time. To refresh our memory, Leuschi was able in 2023, so 2 years ago, to win the German qualifier. Back then we played a round robin with, I'm not sure, 10 people, I think, maybe 11 or 12, and played in the CCL last year, so 2024. He survived the group stage and I think reached the round of 16, so won the first playoff round. So definitely no slouch, and let's see whom he'll play in the semifinals. Let's check if the result is already added. It isn't, so let's do this manually. And Leuschi is at 3 games, 2 wins. 6-5 games. And because there's only 1 game left in Group B, and that's the game of Medusa Hope versus Mermadin, the winner of this game will secure the other semifinal spot. And it depends. If Mermadin wins, he'll secure the first place, and Medusa Hope would secure the first place with a 2-0 win. If he'd win 2-1, he would be at 5-4 game wins and have the exact difference as Leuschi, and then the number of game wins would break the tie in Leuschi's favor because he's at 6-5 game wins. So, and then let's get back to Otto's question from before about the CCL spots. First off, let's go to the CCL page, and here we are having associations 1 to 4, getting 2 direct tickets and 1 qualification ticket, associations 5 to 12, 1 direct ticket and 2 qualification tickets. As I said earlier, Germany is currently in 8th place. So here we are. Still, there are the ETCOC results missing, of course. And I'm pretty sure we won't be able to catch these 3, or it's quite unlikely to catch Ukraine. It's impossible to catch RCP and Japan, as there are just not enough points to be gained in the ETCOC. Let's say if it really goes really well, let's say 5 points or so. And these 5 points could be enough to catch Chile, but then Germany would also need to leapfrog France, Latvia, UK, who also are playing in the, or quite likely playing in the ETCOC, and also have good chances to reach the playoffs. So this will be a tough endeavor to leapfrog them. So I definitely would expect us to land somewhere in this vicinity and have 1 direct ticket and 2 qualification spots. The other route to place 13 or 14 is more or less the same spiel. So China and Taiwan won't be able to overtake Germany. And then we need 5 other teams to do so. So Portugal, Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, and then Croatia. So in theory, that's possible because Croatia is 25 and Germany's 30.5 is a difference of 5.5. If Croatia manages to win all their matches and quite likely all their games as well, to win the ETCOC, and the other 4 teams are playing almost equally well, so let's say reaching semis or quarterfinals, and Germany not beating anyone, we could land on spot 13, but let's say it's highly unlikely. 0.3% chance or something like that. I don't see it happening. I see us somewhere here having 2 qualification spots. So after we missed the first game today, I hope folks in the next days will play firstly on time and secondly with the right settings. If not, I know where to look. I have scheduled quite a few streams for the next days. I intend to cover these matches here. So that's 3 quarterfinals in Taiwan, 06-07 versus Elvis, and then Ukraine, Pavel Brin versus Smile tomorrow, and Nazario versus Random 23 in 3 days' time. And in between, there is a round robin game of Natpira CH versus Pakshi. let's quickly check the Thai championship. So they play a round robin stage of these 7 folks, and then later on playoffs of the top 4. I would definitely expect Pakshi to manage to qualify. And then there are these 4 other players I would expect to fight for the other 3 spots. And it's more or less me checking Pakshi's form and having a look at Nat Pira, which I'm not really that familiar with. Yeah, duties of the organizer, making sure the format is followed. Yeah. Usually, but in this case, it really doesn't matter. If both folks are okay with playing turn-based and actually don't exceed any time limit, let's check. I guess both these games took 20 to 25 minutes or so. Let's check. So 20 minutes in game 1, 18 minutes in game 2, 21 minutes in game 3, and that's definitely okay. So really no biggie not having the right settings. Unless there is someone still having questions, I would call it a day. So I give you, let's say, 30 seconds. I'll drink a gulp of water, and if nothing happens until I'm finished, then I'm off. Yeah, you're welcome, Napel. Hi. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. See you tomorrow.